Yeah.
Oh,
So
yeah.
You have a lot of stuff running, so yeah,
I have a lot of stuff running, but I thought, oh, if I unplug it,
that
then
will
I can
not.
I can cool it down a little bit.
No, it won't.
No, it did. It dropped 20 degrees instantly, almost instantly.
Okay, well, it's not worth the loss of efficiency, performance. I'm just saying.
He looks at you. He looks at you kind of strangely, like your story has some holes in it. But he shakes his head and he says, "All right. Well, if you ever find that little bugger, make sure to see if you can. The offer's still out there. So if you're able to reclaim my treasure, bring it back here, and I'll pay you for it."
Of course, the story has holes in it. We found
Okay,
that magic coin.
of course.
With holes in things.
Holes in it. He says
Holes
so.
in it.
He says, "Well, did you need
I
anything
do
else,
have.
or
Yes,
are
I
you
do
just bringing
have.
bad news?"
I do have business to do with you.
He says, "Oh, I mean, did you forget something last time you were here?"
Oh no, I just realized I need it, and you are the best person I could come to, and I didn't realize that at the time. Is the person I'm speaking to Ranos or Grimag?
The person you're speaking to is Randos. He's the big fat guy.
Do you have Grimag anywhere? I want to talk to him as well.
Oh, I heard it in the bathroom.
Oh, you want to talk to Gremag?
Yeah.
Okay, sure. Gremag, you got someone out here who wants to talk to you. And he comes out and he's all lanky and he walks out with his long flapping arms like Waluigi and he says, "Yeah, what do you want?"
I'm looking for an amateur baking kit.
He looks at you, squints his eyes, and he says,
Car
"Amateur
smiles.
baker, huh?" And he runs his hand through his hair and he says,
We don't sell any of those.
he says, "What you baking? Are you planning on baking cookies or cakes?"
Neither. I'm actually planning to bake some Danishes.
Ranos licks his lips and says, "Ooh, I could go for a good Danish right now." And Gremag smacks him in the back of the head and he says, "Not that kind of Danish, you fool." And he says, "Hold on 1 minute."
Who wants to eat a Dane?
Gremag goes to the back of the shop and looks around, and then he pulls up a trap door that was blended in with the floor and reaches down below the floorboards and pulls out a sack and brings it over to the counter after shutting the thing, and he says, "Everything you need's in here. It'll be 75 gold."
Ooh, yeah, okay, fine. 75 gold. Yeesh. That's a little bit pricey, don't you think?
Yeah, that's the going rate for baking nowadays. You know, you never
I know.
can be too careful with your baked goods.
I'm aware, but well, okay, I can give you. You said 75. How about 69? Nice.
He says nice, yeah.
No.
Nice.
He says nice and then agrees to that price.
Okay, fair enough.
He thinks that was hilarious.
Okay, fine.
So deduct 69 gold and you can write down, haha, it actually is baking equipment. You open it up and it's mixing bowls and spoons.
It was cheese.
Tara becomes
Danish,
a
and
baker.
Shasta.
No, it's a poisoner's kit. It's
I'm glad somebody got that reference.
I
And
don't
a
know.
roast beef sandwich. A really good roast beef sandwich.
How many
Really
pounds
good
is it when I
roast
put it in my bag?
Pounds?
Yes.
Old
Two.
convention food when we were really
Two.
little.
Okay.
2 pounds.
They used to
2
serve
pounds.
food at the convention.
And
Oh.
you had little like food stamps
Rib.
that you would buy to buy them with.
I am very encumbered now. Ew.
Didn't you have a bunch of stuff you sold?
I assumed you
Yes,
were too young
it's
to remember
just-
that, so I didn't think you'd get my reference.
What is taking up
I'm
so
so
much
glad you
space
did.
in my bag?
Makes me so
586
so
gold.
sympathetic.
Oh, yeah.
It took me
Right.
almost 40 years
That
before I could get it.
probably is a lot.
I had the flu, and I didn't know it because I was like 3 years old, and I ate a cheese Danish, and that was the last thing I ate before I started everywhere. And then my mom took me out, and got a thermometer, took my temperature. I had a fever of like 103.
Dang.
103. I was really sick for days, and after that, it was just associated with the smell of a cheese Danish. Made me sick. Only been the last couple of years I've been able to eat them again.
Oh wow.
Yeah. It was a
Wow.
situation. Sorry.
Danishes?
They used to like
That's so sad.
trade other people for their Danishes and try to get like more than one. Like negotiate. Hey, Micah, you don't really like a Danish, do you?
So there's a couple of things on your list. It says 16 arrows are 10 pounds for some reason. You still have a leather armor that you
That is
sold that you shouldn't have anymore.
Absolutely not even remotely close.
Oh,
to
yeah.
realistic.
Oh, wait,
like,
that's
I know
your-
nothing
you're
more
wearing
handy
that.
Is, but that's so far from realistic. It's
The
offensive.
physics of an arrow that heavy.
Sorry, the leather armor. You're wearing the leather armor.
Like arrows.
Okay, good.
make
I
them out of
thought
super
so.
strong, super light materials, and they still make them hollow because they have to be light. They have to be light enough for the feathers to actually steady their flight because feathers are incredibly light and fragile.
The arms that you'd have to pull that bow back, you'd have like a Morty arm. Like one giant arm.
Oh my god.
to shoot the predator. Only person can use one of those bows. Yeah, I'm sorry, but that is incredibly. I mean, that
It's
is
a
like
handheld ballista.
demonstrably wrong. Period. Sorry, Gary Gygax. May you rest in peace.
But imagine how hard that arrow was
He's the
hit.
icon.
Oh, so
yes. Oh my God, that would hurt.
arrows
That's-
weighs
Or
one.
1 pound.
Arrows weighs 1 pound, and I said that specifically. Arrows weighs 1 pound, but arrows is 20 arrows.
That is
So-
definitely realistic.
Okay.
Can you?
Easy as. Thank you.
So yeah, you could. I'd probably just mark it and just say 1 pound until you run out of arrows.
It
That-
requires a quad
All right.
bow with 1,000.
I don't
force to be able to draw it.
I don't know what else has taken up so much weight other than that you don't have very much strength and you have a bunch of gold. You probably don't want to be carrying around hundreds and hundreds of gold anyway. That's probably not the greatest plan. So you probably want to find a place to like store
Split it
that.
up or
Yeah, it's
store.
Scrooge's
Yeah.
Duck over there. You need to buy us a hideout and build us
Wait.
a bank, a safe.
One arrow. is
The,
probably about half
the banker does the
Yeah,
banker
that's
the
why
money
I
exchange
was
also
down
store
for
money?
20. I'm like, that's really close
You
to
could
it.
ask them, but you also have an in room.
Probably pretty close.
Oh, yeah.
Still a little
Oh my god.
So yeah, I wouldn't worry about your weight right now, but
It's not a
you're
fucking
below
pound.
encumbrance, but you probably want to manage it before you guys go off on an adventure anyway.
Yeah, you probably don't want
Yeah.
to carry 1,000 gold in your pocket on an
Hold
adventure.
on. you
That
got
would
these
suck.
giant leather straps and the giant chest, dragging it like this. Hold on, guys.
Remember-
I can keep up with you. And there's this giant, like, inch-deep tread in the mud and grass. You're literally ripping up the turf as we go along. It's like we don't have to wonder if we'll ever get lost because we literally make a road
Follow
behind
the
us.
trench.
Oh my god, do you remember playing on EverQuest on Rallo Sack? And how you always had to put everything in the bag.
Yup,
Because
yup.
as soon as you walk out of the city,
You
Oh
also
my god, do you remember?
looting
do you remember,
4 newbie
do you
robes on
remember
one
walking
person.
out of the bazaar forgetting that you had the special magical bazaar bag
Oh,
on
yeah.
you? And then you'd walk out of the bazaar and you'd be standing there as an amalgam with 15 or 20 other people who
Paying-
walk out and you're all in the exact same spot. Everybody's asking for a port.
Paying 1,000 platinum for a port.
It's like, oh, fuck. Like, I'm like, I'm poor, I'm cheap, I'm playing an alt until I have a friend get on that can help me with this. And I literally waited like a day and a half for you to get on.
So bold.
Absolutely, and just sat there
I've
outside the
been here
bazaar
for a
like,
week and a half, so bold. Yeah, when you're trying to run back to the bank and you're encumbered and you see the strength buff and so like blinking off and you're like, no, I'm almost there.
so you've also got your rations.
No,
You have 8 rations, and it says 20 pounds, but I don't think you adjusted that last time. It should be 16 pounds.
No. Thank you.
You
for
also
pointing
have a
that out.
You also have a shield, and I don't know when you got a shield or what you want to do with it, but that's 6 pounds.
It was funnier to watch
Old school
dozens of
EverQuest.
people every day standing outside the bazaar. Oh,
Rations 16. There we go.
And then yeah, I don't know where you got that shield or what you want to do with it, but you have a shield which is kind of heavy.
I might head over to the blacksmith after that and go sell off that shield instead of selling it here.
Yeah, you
I'm
also
not
have
gonna
that
say that out
longsword
loud, though.
that you probably want to have him check out.
Mhm.
But yeah, other than that, you're good. You're within weight. We can look at that and figure out before you guys set off, so you're not super encumbered. But yeah, he sold you the thing. Did you mark off the gold that you paid for it?
I still need to mark it on.
Okay.
I have
20 sessions from now. Kara, why do you have so much gold?
have?
And why do you have
Trust.
15 shields?
Bankers.
517 gold.
All right. And-
It's
Yeah, we're gonna
probably
have to
okay. The way I organize my gold, silver, copper is the yellow text is gold.
Yeah.
This is silver, and this is gold. Yeah, it's simple enough for me,
Back
flat
then,
brain, to understand.
It's like, oh no, my arrows, they're made out of lead. That way, if you leave them in to staunch the bleeding and you survive, they just poison you.
Wait, which one is which?
They're lead.
The-
Lead too is filled with
me?
mercury.
Yeah.
The yellow is
Oh,
gold.
God.
The
God.
silver color is
Mercury is
silver,
so heavier than-
and the brown color is copper.
Oh, so this one's actually Electrum. So that needs to
Well,
go in the
okay.
top one. It's in order of value. So copper's at the top as the lowest value, and it's actually a browner color. Electrum is more like a bronze color. Okay, they're actually exactly the same color, which is kind of annoying. But yeah, that one, the one between silver and gold is Electrum, which is half. It's the value of 5 silver or half a gold. It's
It's
the
so
middle one.
stupid.
It is kind of stupid.
That
But
really fucks it up.
This one is Electrum.
yeah, that's Electrum.
Oh, Gary Gygax is laughing.
Okay,
That's great.
cut that out then.
Yeah, someone got Electrum, but you don't have any.
The point of Electrum is
I have some.
basically
Can you cut
just
this
to
out
have
for me?
the
I'm not sure
point.
how.
Yeah.
It's,
Do what?
like, dumb.
Oh, never mind.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and then this thing down here is supposed to calculate your total wealth, but you entered a number somewhere and it broke.
I want to start a bank with a punch
Oh.
card. Stone.
But-
It's a magical card
We can figure that out later though.
that magically stores your
Alright.
money on it, and you can buy another magic device that taps it to it that will subtract how much money you have in your account to it. You can check in with me, and I just serve a small service fee, charge a small service fee
No,
to
it's
maintain it, and I just store all of the. That way, you only have to carry a 1 ounce little magic card on you.
it's a card that you don't actually have to have the gold for. It just tracks up how much gold you spend, and then as
No,
you get the
because
gold, it
I don't-
disappears.
I don't like to. I don't like to run my. I don't want to run my bank on a system where there's no funds to back it up in case everybody comes to withdraw it all at once.
So they're actually not the same color. Electrum is dark orange 2, and copper is light red berry 1.
What?
In the sheet.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I can't. It doesn't. I'm in view only, so it doesn't
That's
show me
pretty
the
much
color.
the same color, especially as you hit your 40s.
But
Very close.
yeah, that's kind of annoying that they're so
I
similar.
wonder
But
what silver and copper are.
we can fix because everyone else has the fixed version of the sheet. We can fix yours so the little text is there, but we'll do that
Is Nick's fixed
later.
yet, then?
No,
Alright.
Justina's is.
no.
Oh, it's fixed on mine because I'm using the view only one because you don't have me allowed
But
to
it's
edit
shoved
yours,
up in the different doc format.
which is
Yeah,
why it works.
if
Yeah.
all you have to do is
I'll fix it eventually, but I
No,
literally
you won't.
know what they are.
Yeah.
you will
so
finally give in and
low
let either Jake
priority.
or I fix it. That's what's gonna happen.
It will be
Oh.
fixed eventually, is what he meant.
yeah, that's what I meant. By the way, platinum is actually blue.
Yeah. Okay, so Kara is finished. With all your stuff, is that correct?
Yep, I'm done.
Okay. They say okay, and if you need anything else, come back and see us.
Okay. See you later.
And where would you like to go? Are you guys gonna meet back in the inn after
thought
you've
we were
all
gonna-
talked to your trainers?
I thought we were gonna meet at the Wizard's Tower to tell them what was
Oh yeah, is that what you're gonna do?
That's what I thought.
I think so.
Yeah, because then we'll do the wizard stuff last. So
To see the Wizard?
Um,
The Wizard of Holland.
So we were gonna do we'll do Jeru. That's probably gonna be pretty quick, and then next session we can plan on talking to Burn and talking about the information, and then hopefully that same session going and doing whatever you're planning on doing based on what the information Kara got. It sounds like you guys probably want to go back to
Before we level up?
after you level up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so the level
Yeah,
up will be
so-
like that.
Yeah, so we'll do burn, and then we'll do level, and then we'll head off so we can actually probably adventure some next time.
Yeah.
Yay!
Okay, before we do Jaru, I just want to tell you guys the spells I'm planning on, so that you can be thinking about it. I know we're not doing it until next time, but Fantalk is going to do invisibility, assuming Toddy takes knock.
I'm probably going to take Knock and Clarity, but I need to look for sure.
Okay, clarity, yes, take clarity.
Probably.
If you take invisibility, he takes knock. If you take knock, he takes invisibility, because we definitely need both of those. For Pantalk's other spell, I'm actually planning to take Mirror Image, because it's a really good defensive spell, and Pantalk has come close to death a lot of times. So it wouldn't be bad for him to have
Be more cautious? To stand further
no,
back?
no, he needs more magic protecting him. And then for Jacina,
This is nice things.
for Jacina, I'm actually kind of playing around because, like, I don't really have a lot of level 2 spells for druids that I really need. So I think what I'm going to do is actually take Long Strider, which is a level 1 spell, because I realized that if I cast that on Kara, that gives them 110 movement per round.
Is it not
Holy shit.
What? If it's self-only, I'm going to KMS.
You can get Spirit of Wolf, which is a level 2 version of Longstrider.
I can't believe you abbreviated that on YouTube.
I'm not trying to...
A creature.
Okay, cool.
Kick myself.
What's Spirit of Wolf?
It's a homebrewed version of Longstrider, which is identical to Longstrider, but it's level 2, and it can be cast on another creature. So it's exactly identical to Longstrider, so it doesn't exist.
It's called Spirit of Wolf, so we can call it so.
But Longstrider's touch only. What's the distance on?
You said
Oh my god.
It's exactly identical. It only
but it can't be
existed.
used on others.
It's a Schrodinger's cat situation where it only existed if Longstrider was self only, but it's not. So
You
it
just
doesn't
wanted to
exist.
make sure there was a non-self-only Longstrider.
Yes.
So I'm going to take Longstrider so that we have a fast movement spell, and with Kara having a cunning action, it'll actually instead of 10 extra feet, it's basically 20 extra feet. No, wait, 30 because it's plus 10 feet, so you can dash. You can cunning action, bonus action to dash, action to dash, and use your movement. So that's going to be 30 extra feet. So it's actually 120 movement speed.
Why don't I just become an artificer as my second class and design a giant slingshot to add?
And if you, I think they have a thing that increases movement speed. If you don't dash, but you need to disengage, you can move 40 feet. So it's actually useful in a lot of situations, especially for rogue. But yeah, it's a pretty good spell. Lasts for an hour. I don't think it's even concentration.
No.
Yeah, and with spell points too.
So Jacina's going to take Longstrider, and she could use it on anyone, but especially it'll be on Kara in case we need like hyper movement speed. And then the other spell she's going to take, I think I am going to take a level 2 spell, and I'm going to take what's it called? Like Flameblade. And Flameblade summons a fire scimitar that does 3d6 damage, and a normal scimitar is 1d6 damage, and she actually ends up doing a lot of melee attacks, so that way she'll have a super boosted melee. And plus from Baldur's Gate 3, I just know it's a 6 spell. And then for my other level 2 slot, I can either upcast my heal or upcast Guiding Bolt. So that's what I'm planning on. So, and so Toddy, you can use that information. Anyway, okay, so Jacina and Jaru, I don't think that we need to go through all the stuff that I found in the dungeon necessarily. We can maybe do that real quick because I'd like to wrap up in the next 5 minutes.
Yeah.
But let's just go through quickly. Okay, so Jacina meets Jaru.
We don't have to do direct role play, but we can get what information you want to give to him and the information he gives to you.
So Jacina says she's interested in buying an alchemy kit. Does he have one for sale?
He says, well, I don't have any special kits, but he does have some supplies he could probably get together and sell you, which would function like an alchemy kit, for 50 gold.
Okay, done. Now, Jacina has 22 gold, and I'm going to put in...
Alchemist supplies, and it weighs 8 pounds.
Okay. And then she is going to say, tell him a little bit about what she found.
Okay.
but all the notes are in Pantox things. She doesn't know. She's gonna say, hey, well, we were in that. We went to explore the moat house that's a little ways from here, and we were expecting to just find maybe some bandits or something, which we did. But when we explored the underground, we found like a bunch of zombies and some evidence of cultists down there. And we found an ogre and a torture room. Do you have any thoughts about some kind of an evil dungeon underneath the moat house? That seems kind of strange.
He says, well, that is kind of what we sent you to investigate, so I'm glad you...
Did Jaru actually send me too?
He was part of the council that sent you to
investigate. The council! Oh, the whole council sent us. Oh, yeah. That's right.
He says,
so she's slightly less flippant.
We didn't do a good job. Oh, shit.
He says, I'm glad that our concern... it's disappointing to hear that, but I'm glad that our concerns weren't entirely unfounded. At the very least, you found bandits. Did you dispatch them, I assume?
We got some of them, but some of them got away.
He says, well...
And sorry, I don't have any of the cultist cloaks. One of my compatriots is holding those.
Plus, what we did learn is that we did not get all of the bandits even there at the same time. There was definitely more somewhere else. So even if we had been able to dispatch every single one that was there at that moment, there still would have been more.
Yeah, we're actually planning to head back in a little while. But actually, from all the experience we got while we were there, I think I'd like to start my training with you and see if I could gain a level of druid power.
He says, oh yes, I'll certainly be willing to show you the ways of the next circle before you return, because it sounds like you got some work ahead of you. He says, if there's zombies there, and you said there's cultists, you said at least you routed the bandits, so you may not have destroyed all of them, but hopefully that'll make them think twice before going back to the place. And if they do, their numbers will be fewer.
We'll take care of the ones that do, and if they keep coming back, we'll keep taking care of them.
He says, but you said cultists. Were any of the bandits cultists that you could tell? What made you think there's cultists?
No, we found a whole cache of robes downstairs, and it seems like they were probably associated in some way with the evil magic we found. They had cloaks with a symbol of an eye on it.
He says, an eye. That doesn't sound like anything I've ever heard. You don't have one on you?
Isn't that literally the symbol that was on the rock?
No. No.
Isn't that literally the same symbol that was on the river rock?
No.
No, I'm looking at my image.
I was thinking that it was. Sorry.
No, I don't have any on me. My wizard friend took all those, but
weren't you wearing one? What happened to that one?
No, I don't know. She doesn't have any. Pantok has them.
You didn't write it down. Okay, it's not on there.
But it looked like an eye with a flame above it, like a flaming eye.
He says, "Well, I'm not super versed in occult symbols, but you might want to check with Byrne on that one. I'm sure Pantok has already. If you said he's if you guys are going to train, I'm sure he's already brought that to his attention. But definitely have him take a look at that, because that could mean something. But you didn't find any actual cultists, just the cache of cloaks?
I don't think so, did we?
We found a bunch of bandits, and they seem to potentially be associated with the cultists, but they were not wearing the cultists.
No, we found, shit.
Because they told us about...
Okay, so the ogre doesn't work for the bandits, he works for the cultists.
Because the bandits told us the secret hand sign, but also that there was special clothes to wear. So it seems like they're associated with the cultists, but they may not be the cultists directly.
No, it's
more
strange.
Like hired thugs.
We did find a secret door, but it just was a back entrance to the room with the ogre in it. I don't know. Maybe the cultists are still hanging around. Maybe we didn't explore the full depths of the dungeon.
He says, yes, well, that place has been there for a long time. And
I couldn't see the cat, just the tail, and it literally looked like you had one of those like mechanical tails on, but it was really short, and I was like, uh-oh.
The butt plug tail.
Yes, but it was moving, which is an extra
He says, yes, that place has been there for a long time, so who knows how many secret contingencies they have there, and thankfully it sounds like the robes were sealed away, so hopefully there wasn't any need for them to use them, but with something like that they're intact, there is always the chance that there's more to find. So
what are your thoughts about the ogre? Do you think we should go ahead and dispatch the beast, or do you think that we should try to befriend him? It seems like he was actually allied with the cultists.
he says leaving an ogre alive is always not necessarily recommended. They are very, what do you call it?
Dickish.
Not flippant. You said that word earlier. Where their allegiance is not necessarily settled. They'll work for whoever can pay them or feed them the most. So leaving them alive, even if you think you might have bargained with them, there's always the chance they'll turn on you. But
so once I gain my new circle, I'll probably head back and dispatch them.
It's. I mean, I would never recommend murdering something in cold blood that's not causing any harm.
Gotcha. Wait.
But I mean, ogres aren't necessarily. It's kind of like putting a beast down. It's like it's causing trouble. But it sounds like the bigger problem is the cultists, especially if the ogre's working for the cultists. So if you feel like you need to destroy him, don't feel like you're breaking any sort of codes. But if he is associated with the cultists, it might be more beneficial to you to try and trick him or use him against them rather than just straight up killing him. But if you feel like killing him is the way to go, then you might as well. But
okay, you know what? So I think we'll take that advice. We'll probably see if we can trick the ogre for some information, but then we won't leave the dungeon with him breathing.
That's probably a good idea. But you know, if you defeat all the cultists and he doesn't have any reason to stay there anymore, just make sure he doesn't head towards Hamlet. Whether that means killing him or just shooing him away, whatever you come to. It sounds like you were able to at least reason with him, so he's not a monster. But he says, yeah, and the presence of zombies is pretty disturbing too. That place was destroyed and cleared out back during the war, so the fact there's fresh zombies there is very, very concerning.
What are your thoughts about the torture room?
He says, well, I mean,
we found some freshly killed skeletons that look like they did not have a good time going out.
He says, freshly search that place top to bottom and figure out what's going on, because there's definitely, if you say you explored the whole place and you didn't find any cultists, but there's a bunch of zombies, there's definitely something you missed there. So do your best to explore. He says, yes. I mean, if you had any indication that if there were think hard back on your if there was any indication of a secret door in any other rooms, maybe a passage that was opening and closing, creatures that were entering a room that you had no indication where they might be, a creature suddenly appearing in a place. If anything like that might have happened. Like say you were like sitting outside a room and you heard.
I feel like it's in the ogre room, but we can't.
This is Jessina.
Damn it!
How much are you telling? Are you kind of relaying all of your stuff? Are you keeping any secrets or anything?
No, I pretty much tell them what we found and about how we heard the door. Yeah, I tell them
Pretty much.
I tell them the detail about the ogre room.
We weren't fully prepared to fight the ogre, and we had just encountered some slaves, and it was a choice: fight the ogre and probably have the slaves die, or
yeah, we freed some slaves, Moses. And found an armory, and
except what we did was real.
He says the slaves. You freed the slaves. He said, did they have any information? I would think they would. They might not know the dungeon intimately, but they might have heard. Did they give you any sort of advice on where a secret door might be?
It sounded what they said that they were able to hear. It sounded like 2 different secret doors from their slave room, which is why I said I think there's a secret door in the ogre room.
Okay.
They said it sounded like there was 2 different sets of doors.
Okay, we're gonna have to use these cloaks and see if we can trick the ogre. Otherwise, we're gonna have to kill it first. Okay, well,
I'd more thoroughly search the room. But
yeah, you tell them about the gnome, the gnome who told you about the door, and you kind of dismissed it. And he says, well, if the gnomes are very cunning and they know a lot about things like that. So if he says there were creatures moving back and forth, but you didn't see any sign of them moving. You said you thought they came through the secret door that leads upstairs, but they couldn't have gone through that way, if you were resting in that room, so
Yeah, and
We
we
do
kind of
the
like warded it, so yeah, it sounds like we missed a secret door.
yeah, it sounds like there's some kind of way that creatures are getting into that ogre room and leaving it,
I thought
but
we,
not using either of the two entrances that you are.
I thought we had already decided that, but it was kind of a we encountered these slaves.
Oh, what is this,
and we had to
Wolfenstein
make a
3D with the
choice.
secret doors?
Is what I kind of thought it was.
Gary Gygax is 3D with the secret door.
Oh wait, wasn't Wolfenstein probably inspired by D&D?
Yeah.
I think Wolfenstein was inspired by a major historical.
Don't say the
event.
N-word. The other N-word is okay, but don't say that one.
Oh yeah, that
I
one.
cannot see what you mean.
Oh, I not see what you did there.
I cannot.
Oh, shit.
I cannot see.
I didn't do it right. Okay, well, thank you very much. We're wrapping up.
Yep. Can you still hear us, Willow?
Okay, we're gonna go get a beer.
Yeah, I'm
thanks for
here.
your
I
help.
was
I'll
being
be back,
quiet. I'm not feeling too
Should
good.
I come back tomorrow for the training?
He says, yeah. He says, yes. Go ahead and rest. You guys have had a long time, so go show Burn your findings, and then you can come back here tomorrow morning, and we'll complete your training.
Okay.
I'll make sure to get it finished up in quick time for you, so you can go back to the place.
Okay, that sounds good. Well, I'm gonna head off now. Goodbye.
Bye.
Yeah, I thought we had pretty much
Yay!
decided that we had found everything we were going to find for the moment, and we kind of hit a point where it was better to regroup and come back and research.
Well, yeah. Now we're
That's
gonna
what I
have an
thought.
extra level before we fight the cultists and the freaking ogre.
Exactly,
I
and
love
we
my
just found slaves.
Yeah.
We had spent a
that's the main
night. We were, kind of was like a, you know what? Let's go back to town.
Not the second
Let's
time.
take care of some
Like
business,
the 1,000.
and
Okay.
then let's come back after we've had a good night's or couple of weeks sleep because they're gonna have time to rebuild an army.
So this is actually
We're
good.
gonna come back and it's literally going to be a standing army waiting for us, and it's gonna be like, oh fuck.
But now we know all about how it's set up. We can decide. We
Yes.
can go into
Yeah.
one of the cracked
We will
walls
definitely
or something.
we'll have more life. Rats won't necessarily one shot you.
Yeah, exactly. And next week we'll be
One
playing
shot
online,
rats.
which means we can use the mouse and everything.
Yeah.
So that's perfect.
Not next Tuesday, because I'm flying back on Tuesday.
Well, yeah.
So it won't be, unless we want to reschedule a different day, it'll be 2 weeks.
So we
Well,
are-
let's talk
Okay.
in chat.
Yeah.
Because Willow said they didn't really want to do Friday, but maybe we can find a different day later next week,
Yeah.
or we'll just.
Typically available
Yeah.
any day.
Because actually, the Tuesday after next, I think is my office. day.
Okay, yeah.
We'll talk in chat. Okay, goodbye. Oh, everyone say bye. Everyone say bye to the stream.
Bye, stream.
Bye.